Hey guys, it's Michelle and welcome to a brand new video in which I'm going to be showing you guys how you guys can create a thumbnail like this all by yourself. So let's just get started. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be making a little thumbnail, a Fortnite themed thumbnail just like this as being shown on the screen. I've already made it like main body, and I made a sample and we are just going to do it a little, detailed wise. I would say I would be explaining everything from A to Z, like the text to the background, everything I do. Now I'm not the best at this. There are a lot of better people that make a lot of better designs than I do, but I promise to upload a tutorial on Fortnite themed thumbnails on 700 subscribers. So this is it. And before we start, I just want to thank each and every one of you for supporting me for so long, and today I have finally hit the 700 mark, and it's unreal, and hopefully we will be hitting the 1k mark real soon, inshallah. So without any further ado, let's get started. So the first thing is you are going to be opening a new document. Now the new document is going to be of the size of 1280 into 720. Now this is the standard size for all the YouTube thumbnails, and I would definitely recommend never going on to 1980 into 1920 and 1080, because it will increase your file size, and if it exceeds 2 megabytes, it would be some problem. You would be experiencing some problems while uploading the thumbnail. It would say that the thumbnail can't be uploaded the size, and then you would have to compress it, or either in the end convert it from 1920 into 1280. So it's better off you start with 1280 into 720. The resolution I always said is at 150. You can put it at 300 as well, but I personally like 150, like it's the standard. So that's pretty much it. The color mode RGB, 8-bit, and the background contents I put at transparent. You can put it at a white background color, whatever you want, but it doesn't really matter. You will have to make a new layer and delete it anyways, so it's better off to make it transparent. So once we do that, we are going to be having a blank canvas that we are going to be working on. So the first thing I always do is I work on, I'm going to be showing you guys everything side by side, the thumbnail I made, and I'm going to be making the same exact thing. So the first thing I usually do is I put a little gradient. Now this gradient depends upon the background color, and the background color is usually based upon the skin. Now the skin I used in this one is the velocity skin, and it has this yellowish goldenish touch to it, so I thought why not go with a yellow background. Although I do know that this text is a little bit, what we say, blending in with the background, but yeah, I thought of doing it a yellow themed background. So what I do is I go into this gradient tool. It is usually paint tool. You have to click it, and then you can get these options of gradient tool or 3D material tool, drop tool. I pick the gradient tool and go into this gradient editor, and I select one of the colors as black, completely black, and the other color according to the background color. So it was yellow, so I picked yellow, so I did yellow. Now I usually put it at there are different options for the gradients as well, and I personally put it at the linear option. It is gonna be the first one, and what I do is I drag bottom to top. Sorry, I had to cut the video in between because I got a call on Discord, but since we are back, so what I was saying was that I drag the gradient tool from bottom to top. Now this way it gives you this kind of effect, and I personally dig it. So you can like you can skip this, or you can just use a a simplistic background. It's completely up to you, but I prefer to add a little gradient background and then, you know, low soft light the background. So the next thing is the background, the Fortnite like point of view background that I usually put in almost all of my thumbnails. Now most of these backgrounds are from Fortnite banner sets pack by Visual. The download link to this pack would be in the description below. Also to the link to this thumbnail tutorial PSD file will be in the description as well. So this Fortnite set pack is everything a beginner or an amateur would need, because it has all the good stuff that you would really honestly need, from wallpapers to characters to explosions to halftones and particles to smoke. And honestly, you don't even use half of these and your thumbnail would be ready. So from wallpapers, I usually pick any wallpaper I like. Let's just hide this for a second. Now the one I mostly use is this Sunny Steps one, because Sunny Steps is one of my favorite point of interest to land on in Fortnite as well. So we just copy it and paste it over here. Then you can just adjust the image, and now what you're gonna do is you're gonna press Ctrl+U. It is gonna give you this dialog box. In this dialog box, you're gonna put the saturation to -100, which is gonna give you this black and white background. Now what you're gonna be doing is you're gonna be selecting this layer and you're gonna be putting it on soft light. After you are done with that, it's gonna look something like that, but it looks a little too bright on the top, so we are gonna adjust it by going back to the background gradient layer and, you know, adjusting the gradient. Now it looks a lot better. So once you're done with that, you are gonna put in the character. That's what I do. You can, you know, go on with the text or anything, but I usually put in the character first before the text, because I usually align the text with the character. So let's go into the characters. We got the velocity character that we are going to be using for the thumbnail, as I used in here, and we are going to paste it in here, and there we go. Ctrl+T as always to edit it out, transform it, and let's just put it right around here. So we've got the character in our canvas. So the next thing, the most important thing that I honestly would say is the text in the thumbnail that makes the thumbnail honestly look either good or bad. So what you're going to be doing is, first you're going to be making a new layer and putting it below the character. Now this is a very important tip that I would love to give to all of the beginner designers, to put the text under your character, because it will give a more professional and decent look to the thumbnail, rather than putting the text on top of the character. So go into the text type tool and choose whatever font you want. The fonts I'm going to be using is the Burbank font, the Longhole, and the Kenyan Coffee. The link to all three of these fonts would be in the description, so you can go and download if you haven't already. So we are going to be going with the Burbank first, and we are going to be typing in Fortnite. Excuse me for now something like this. So what you're going to be doing is, I'm going to be increasing the size. Either you can increase it from here, or you can just Ctrl+C the text, and now you're going to align it with the character. Now I'm going to put it around somewhat around here, and also I'm going to drag the character a bit to the left side, so that I can make the text a bit bigger. Alright, something like this. So there we have it. Now the next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting in a thumbnail. Now you can either put, in the previous thumbnail, the one I made earlier, I made it really small, like something like this, but it's completely up to you if you want to make it really small or not. It's completely up to you. So then I put in thumbnail. You can put in whatever text you want. This is just a sample for you guys to, 𝐏𝐂 get to, you know, work out with. So the next phone, like I changed the phone for every text. You can keep it the same, it's completely up to you. There are no restrictions whatsoever. And we are going to line the text up a little bit and something like that. Then we are going to be putting in tutorial. You don't really, once again, you don't really need to put in what I am putting in. It's completely up to you. The phone I will be using for this is the 𝐏𝐄𝐂, and I have been asked this question a lot. And how do you space between the characters? Do you like manually enter spaces? No, I don't. I just go into the character window. You can open it from over here, from characters, and then what I do is I increase this, like the space between each letter, and it usually goes really like it's usually very big. But let's, like, for example, yeah, like it usually goes across 500 and whatsoever. So that's pretty much it for the text. Now I'm not done with the text all completely, but that's pretty much like the main, I would say, part of the text, like how you type it, how you align it and stuff. The next thing you are going to be doing is you are going to be putting in the layer styles, the most important thing in the whole thumbnail, that is gonna be judging how good or how bad it is, part of the text thingy. So let's go on with the Fortnite text first. I'm gonna make it yellow as I did in the sample thumbnail. After I have made it yellow, I'm gonna go into blending options, go into gradient overlay, and just I'm gonna change nothing at all. Everything is gonna be at default. I'm just gonna be changing the opacity and gonna be lowering the scale a bit. I sometimes do put the scale at 10%, but I prefer not to, because it looks a bit indecent in terms of colored text. But if it is white and black text, it will look good at 10% as well, so that's good. Then we are going to go into drop shadow, and we are going to put the opacity at 100%, put the spread at about 30 to 35%. It's completely up to you, and increase the size. Then, you know, just adjust it according to your taste, you know, judge how good or how bad it is looking. Then go into inner glow, put the blend mode on overlay and choose white, and then increase the size. It's gonna give you this beautiful highlight. Then go into inner shadow, put it on white, and there we go, we have the text ready. Then we are gonna be doing the same for thumbnail. I am gonna be doing that. Also, if you are not able to make these custom, you know, layer styles, I will be having this PSD file. You can just go into my thumbnail, click on text, copy layer style, and go into your thumbnail and paste layer style, and boom, you've got it. So I'm gonna do the same, all of these. Oopsies, I guess I messed up a bit. Yes, I did. Alright, so that's how we are going to be doing the layer styles and the text. Now onto with the thumbnail, the background extra effects that I'd say. Now I usually add in a halftone that I've been asked this question a lot. What is this halftone? What are these stocks? This is nothing but just halftones. It is available in the Fortnite asset pack of what do you call visual. So I'm just gonna copy this, and I'm gonna be pasting it right in here. And what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be giving it a 180 turn, I'm going to be putting it behind Fortnite text up right about here, and I'm going to be putting that overlay. Now what this does is it gives you this little beautiful look. Honestly, it really does look very nice, and I'm just gonna adjust the gradient overlay a bit, as it is a bit too bright and dark. So once you're done with that as well, you are going to be adding in some vignette effect. And how I do that is I just put an overlay in the background behind the text and the character, and choose the brush tool, put it at 0 hardness and the size to 450. You can do whatever you want with the size, it's completely up to you. Go into the color and change it to black, and then just take some strokes here and there to make it look good, you know, to give it a nice little vignette effect. Then I'm gonna be making another layer, but this one on top of everything, and I'm gonna be putting the color at white, the same settings of the brush, and I'm gonna be making a little line as if like there is some light coming up on the character and the text. Also, I'm going to be putting another layer over here behind the text and the character, and just gonna be making a tab and putting the opacity at around 46 to 50%. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And what I also usually do is I go and make another layer and put the hardness at 100% and the like brush size to 32 and make this outline. Now how I do it is I just hold shift and just drag a line in the directions, and I pretty much get an outline. If you can't do that, you can just go into the PSD file once again, click on the outline layer, Control A selected, and then just Control C, and you're gonna be copying it. So the next thing I usually do is I put the text in the background as like color dodge. So what I do is I just select the text. Let's just say we are gonna be selecting the thumbnail text. We're gonna duplicate it and Control E, like we're going to be rasterizing it, and we're going to be putting it up around over here, and then we are going to be transforming it, and we're going to be putting it like behind everything, and the mode for it is going to be color dodge. So this is going to be giving your thumbnail a very decent and a very nice look, but I would recommend decreasing the fill to around 50 or 60 depending on how it is giving the look in your thumbnail. It is completely up to you. So once you are done with that, you can add in some extra effects to the character. I usually do that. Create a new layer on top of the character, right click on it, create it as a clipping mask. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna go into the brush tool, put it at 0% hardness and the size to 450, and then like just make it white, put it on soft light, this side to black. Another thing that I usually do is like make the character, like click on the right click on the character, go into the blending options and put it with like apply a gradient overlay with the mode set to overlay. So once you're done with that, you're pretty much done. Now you can add in some extra effects. Like I have added this fire effect, like an explosion. You can get it from the PSD as well as the Fortnite asset pack. Let me just show it to you. Oopsies. Alright, we're gonna put it on screen so that we can see it, and let's just say we are gonna place it around here. That's pretty much it. And another thing that people usually ask me a lot are these crosses. These crosses are very famous and everyone wants them, so they are going to be in They are not going to be in this asset pack. I just added them. They are going to be in this PSD5 because I haven't, like, those are completely mine. They're custom made. You won't be finding them anywhere else other than like if someone has made them as well. And I usually put them on overlay, and that's pretty much it. That's all I do in my thumbnails. Other things that I do are the After Effects. I go into this little effect bar and go into vibrance, put it on. It really depends on how much you want. Like, it's just random. Then go into curves and, you know, mess around with the curves, see what looks good and what doesn't. You know, just the basics. And another thing that I do is I select the top layer, then hold shift and go down and click on the bottom layer. Control G, it's going to make a group. Control J, you're going to duplicate it. Control E is going to rasterize it. And then what I do is I go into filters, other, high pass, and 10. And then I go into overlay and the opacity at 50. This makes the thumbnail look really sharp. And what else I do is there are these really nice particles in visuals asset pack that I take and put it as screen, and there we go, voila, Fortnite thumbnail tutorial is ready. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how I make thumbnails, and hopefully my tutorial was clear enough so that you guys understood each and everything, and hopefully it will help you make more, you know, more like, I wouldn't say better, because I myself am a beginner and I am, you know, learning stuff. So hopefully this is gonna be helping you in one way or another. And yeah, this is pretty much it. Fortnite thumbnail tutorial, the 700 subscribers special. Thank you so much, each and every one of you, for supporting me, and I hope you guys keep on supporting me. We are going to be hitting that 1000 subscriber milestone real soon, inshallah. By the way, I will be dropping my GFX pack on 750 subscribers as promised. Also check out the PEC, Pakistan Editing Community graphics pack. The link would be in the description below. Also join the server for some insane designs, both GFX and VFX on the server. It's lit, ladies and gentlemen. And that's pretty much it. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn the bell notifications, like hit that bell button and turn the notifications on, so that you don't miss any of the content on the channel. And like the video if it helped you, and I'll see you next time. Till then, it's a wrap. Peace off.